Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone. So we are continuing with chapter 84, and yes, so let's start with this paragraph. We ended this one last time around. Let's start once again from this one, so that we continue from where we left. Okay, those who want to read may raise their hand, and we will start. Hare Krishna. Shraddha, would you start?
Hare Krishna. As soon as the sages and ascetics arrived, all the kings, including Maharaj Yudhishthira and the other Pandavas and Lord Krishna and Balrama, immediately got up from their seats and offered respects by bowing down to the universally respected sages. After this, the sages were properly welcomed by being offered seats and water for washing their feet. The palatable fruits, garlands of flowers, incense, and sandalwood pulp were presented, and all the kings, led by Krishna and Balrama, worshipped the sages according to the Vedic rules and regulations. When all the sages were comfortably seated, Lord Krishna, who descended for the protection of religion, began to address them on behalf of all the kings. When Krishna began to speak, all became silent, being eager to hear and understand his welcoming words to the sages. Lord Krishna spoke thus: All glory is to the assembled sages and ascetics. Today we all feel that our lives have become successful. Today we have achieved the desired goal of life because we now see face to face all the exalted, liberated sages and ascetics, whom even the great demigods in the heavens desire to see. Persons who are neophytes in devotional service and who simply offer the respectful obeisances to the deity in the temple but cannot realize that the Lord is situated in everyone's heart, and those who simply worship different demigods for fulfillment of their own lusty desires are unable to understand the importance of these sages. They cannot take advantage of receiving these sages by seeing them with their eyes, by touching their lotus feet, by inquiring about their welfare, or by diligently worshipping them. Neophyte devotees or religionists cannot understand the importance of great Mahatmas. They go to the temple as a matter of formality and pay the respectful obeisances unto the deity. But when one is promoted to the next platform of transcendental consciousness, one can understand the importance of Mahatmas and devotees, and in that stage one tries to please them. Therefore, Lord Krishna said that the neophyte cannot understand the importance of great sages, devotees, or ascetics. Lord Krishna continued, One cannot purify himself merely by traveling to holy places of pilgrimage and taking a bath there, or by seeing the demigods from forms in the temple. But if one happens to meet a great devotee, a Mahatma who is a representative of the personality of Godhead, one is immediately purified. To become purified, one is enjoined to worship the fire, the sun, the moon, the earth, the water, the air, the sky, and the mind. By worshipping all the elements and their predominating deities, one can gradually become free from the influence of envy, but all the sins of an envious person can be nullified immediately simply by serving a great soul. My dear revered sages and respectable kings, you can take it from me that a person who accepts this material body made of three elements, mucus, bile, and air, as his own self, who considers his family and relatives his own, who accepts material things as worshipable, or who visits holy places of pilgrimage just to take a bath there but never associates with great personalities, sages, and Mahatmas, such a person, even though in the form of a human being, is nothing but an animal like an ass. When the Supreme Authority, Lord Krishna, was thus speaking with great
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, howsoever impetus I may put on this, I think I would not be able to do justice. Uh, Seeing the gravity of the importance that it has in our life, but let's try and understand. Let's try and uh, uh, to understand some of it, right? Okay. Uh, all the kings led by Krishna and Balrama worship the sages according to the Vedic rules and regulations. So the first question arises to my mind is, why is Krishna worshipping? Krishna is Supreme Father. Why is Krishna worshipping the sages here? So is sages bigger than Krishna? Huh? Is sages bigger than Krishna? Yes. Why is Krishna worshipping these sages? Kings are worshipping, and that's acceptable. Huh? In fact, kings would ideally they would be guided only by this one sages, right? Those would be gurus, and those would guide kings to do whatever they have to do. But why is Krishna worshipping these sages? Are sages at a higher position? Hmm? Yes. So I just got one answer. Krishna gives his devotees higher position. Actually, there are two things. Krishna wants to make his devotees happy. Galat. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Krishna does not want to make his devotees happy. There's something else. Although you might be meaning the same, but you should be putting it correctly. So first thing first, Krishna, devotee surrender onto Krishna. Then, okay, first thing, Krishna, like a devotee rightly had put, Krishna gives devotee a higher position. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, thoughts of pure devotees dwell in my heart. Krishna always considers devotee to be at a higher level. This is what Krishna does. This is how Krishna sees things. Now, second part, and it was right, although it was not perfect. So I rejected it for a reason. Uh, the incorrect thing written out here is Krishna wants to make his devotees happy. No, Krishna wants to please his devotees. Please understand the gravity of the matter. When we want to make someone happy, we try to do something or the other. But if we want to please anyone, right, we constantly do something. Are you getting it? We constantly do something to make him or her happy. Like an office goer wants to please his boss. He does not want to make his boss happy. He does not want his boss to be happy for a moment and thereafter things may continue. No, he wants to please his boss, right? At every moment. Now comes the point. Krishna is at a different level, ecstasy, right? But let's understand from our understanding, our perspective, devotee's perspective. Look, whoever you are, whatever you do, whatever age you may be having, whatever life condition you may be going through, whatever situation, whatsoever be your position, you may be prime minister of the country, you may be lowest person, yeah, in any condition, you want to serve someone. We have this inclination that we want to serve someone. Every one of us wants to serve someone. Now, the only question left after this fact, the only question left is fill in the blanks. Who is that someone? Someone could be any materialistic attributes, person. Someone could be Devi Devta. Someone could be demons. Someone could be ourselves. I want to please myself, my senses. That someone is always there. Those who are most intelligent, for them, the someone is Krishna. Now, Krishna is putting there. Krishna wants to serve whom? These sages. Krishna wants to put in that someone pure devotees. Actually, pure devotees come even before Krishna. Because pure devotees connect us to Krishna. How else we would be knowing about Krishna? If not through devotees, we can never understand about Krishna. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita that the knowledge comes in Guru Shishya Parampara. Now, after Krishna has given the responsibility for the Guru Shishya Parampara to pass on this knowledge, the knowledge would continue to come only through Guru Shishya Parampara. It cannot come in seclusion. Yeah. Like some of us say, last night I slept and in the morning I had revelation. It's not possible. Yes, you may have a realization, but that would only happen once you are surrendered on to someone. Who is that someone? Unless you are surrendered to a pure devotee, you can never understand about Krishna. Therefore, the importance of Guru Shishya Parampara is there. Unless you are surrendered to a pure devotee, you can never understand about Krishna. We can never understand about Krishna through mental speculation. Never. Mental speculation would not take us to Krishna. You keep on speculating. Yeah. So the only choice left in our life is fill that someone. Everyone is serving. Whatsoever may be his position, everyone is serving. Now I have this question. Whom do you want to serve? Yeah. Can everyone answer? Whom do you want to serve? Whom do we want to serve? Yeah. Who is that someone? Hmm? Who is that someone? Whom do we want to serve? Whom should we be serving? Yes. So the knowledge comes in Guru Shishya Parampara. So first we should be serving Guru. Then definitely in all the process we are serving Krishna only. Yeah. So first we are serving Guru. Then we are serving Vaishnavas. Right? Now the best thing that we can do in our lives, like we live our materialistic life, right? Suppose you are living your life and in your home you have your brother, your sister, your mother, your dad. Now when you are living along with them, definitely you have a responsibility to perform. Correct? Suppose your father asks you to bring a glass of water. Would you or would not you be bringing that glass of water to him? So you would be serving him. Right? Now, I'm not looking at materialistic aspect. And please forgive me for forgetting. I want to forget for a minute. I just want to forget for a minute. Krishna says that you must respect your elders, your guru, Vaishnavas. For a minute, let me forget. Elders. Krishna never said, for a minute, just minute. Krishna never said that you should respect your elders. Now, because in our family setup, we would have our elders as well as younger ones, as well as unknowns, right? There would be many people. Now, if we are living a materialistic life, if we do not know about Krishna, whatever we are doing is wasting our life. Right? So we are living in our home, we are wasting our life. Day in and out, morning and evening, whatever we are doing is wasting our life. We are not doing anything. But suppose your family members are Vaishnavas. They are pure devotees of Krishna. Now, when you are serving them, you are serving Vaishnavas. And when you are serving Vaishnavas, you are becoming purer. Ideally, we should all be serving elders, because Krishna said that we should serve elders, therefore we should serve elders. If someone asks you that would you be serving him or not, just be very clear in your understanding. If Krishna says that I should be serving him, then I would serve him. If Krishna does not say that I would be serving him, I would not serve him. I'm not concerned about how you think, how others think. I'm not concerned. I'm just concerned about how Krishna thinks. What Krishna says. So again, we all are serving someone. Unless we are serving devotees, we are wasting our life. We must serve devotees. That is purification of life. The best thing that we can do is make everyone Vaishnava. In our family, make everyone Vaishnava. So we would be talking to Vaishnava only. Just think about Krishna all the time and think about preaching all the time. Then our existence would be purified in a simpler way. Yeah, we all are here to purify our existence, and in that way, when we make everyone in our family a Vaishnava, then our existence becoming pure. Existence becomes more pure, easier. Huh? We have an easy path to purify ourselves. Right? Now, just see that sages are given a higher position by Krishna himself. What to talk of you and me? Right? So we all should purify ourselves. We can purify by surrendering, yeah, by serving pure devotees, by serving Vaishnava, and here higher than Vaishnava, Mahatma. So by serving Mahatma, we all can purify our existence, right? So at every moment in our life, we should try and purify. Try and purify. At every moment, just try and purify. Yeah? Because unless we are serving Vaishnava, this is what Krishna says. One cannot purify himself merely by traveling to the holy places of pilgrimage and taking a bath there, or by seeing the demigods in the form of temples. Demigods forms in the temples. But if one happens to meet a great devotee, a Mahatma, who is the representative of the personality of Godhead, one is immediately purified. Just think, if we do holy places pilgrimage, take a bath, do a lot of things, there's a lot of doubt that we may purify or not. Although when we take holy bath in a holy place, it's very, very, very pious, extremely pious. But no, this is not considered anything as compared to serving a Mahatma, serving a great devotee. Immediately purified. Yeah. So please try and understand, we have a limited life to live. We are not here for enjoyment. We are here to serve. Whom do you want to serve? Is your choice. And that tells you the dedication towards Krishna. If you want to serve your senses, people, politicians, demigods, whom do you want to serve? Yeah. So please try and understand. We can no. Yes, I would remember. Okay. So yes, those who want to continue may raise their hand and we'll continue. Having concluded that, Anjika, please continue.
Hare Krishna. When the Supreme Authority, Lord Krishna, was thus speaking with great gravity.
No. I believe this is done. this is done.
Shweta, they ended on this only when the Supreme Authority.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, please continue.
When the Supreme Authority, Lord Krishna, was thus speaking with great gravity, all the sages and ascetics remained in dead silence. They were amazed upon hearing him speak the absolute philosophy of life in such a concise way. Unless one is very much advanced in knowledge, one thinks his body to be his self, his family members to be his own, and the land of his birth to be worshipable. From this concept of life, the modern ideology of nationalism has sprung up. Lord Krishna condemned such ideas, and he also condemned persons who take the trouble to go to the holy places of pilgrimage just to take a bath and come back without taking the opportunity to associate with the great devotees and Mahatmas living there. Such persons are compared with the most foolish animal, the ass. All those who heard considered the speech of Lord Krishna for some time, and they concluded that Lord Krishna was actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, playing the role of an ordinary human being who is forced to take a certain type of body as a result of the reactions of his past deeds. He was assuming this pastime as an ordinary human simply to teach the people in general how they should live for perfection of the human mission.
Hare
Having
Krishna.
concluded, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah. Dipti Mataji, please continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. From where?
Having concluded that.
Having concluded that Krishna was the supreme personality of the Godhead, the sages addressed him thus, "Dear Lord, we the leaders of human society are supposed to possess the proper philosophy of life, yet we are bewildered by the spell of your external energy. We are surprised to see your behavior, which is just like that of an ordinary human being, and sorry,
Which conceals your real identity.
it conceals your real identity as the supreme personality of Godhead, and we therefore consider your pastimes to be all wonderful. Our dear Lord, by your own energy, you create, maintain, and annihilate the whole cosmic manifestation of different names and forms in the same way that the earth creates many forms of stones, trees, and other varieties of names and forms, and yet remains the same. Although you create varieties of manifestations through your energy, you are unaffected by all those actions. Our dear Lord, we are simply stunned to see your wonderful act. Although you are transcendental to this entire material creation and are the supreme Lord and the super soul of all living entities, you, you appear on this earth by your internal potency to protect your devotees and destroy the miscreants. By such an appearance, you as a re-establish the principles of eternal religion, which human society forgets by long association the with the material energy. Our dear Lord, you are the creator of the social orders and spiritual statuses of human society according to quality and work. And when these orders are misguided by unscrupulous persons, you appear and set them right. Right. Dear Lord, the Vedic knowledge in
Hare
the
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Someone please send me this one complete. By such an appearance, you establish the eternal principle of eternal religion, which human society forgets by long association with the material energy. So, what is this eternal religion? What is this religion which is being talked about? A religion which ever lasts. actually startling is the fact that Sanatan is a word which means eternal. Sanatan, which does not have a beginning or an end. Here, Sanatan Dharma is being talked about. Isn't it really amazing? By such an appearance, you reestablish the principle of eternal religion, which human society forgets by long association with the material energy. Our dear Lord, you are the creator of the social orders and spiritual statuses of human society according to their quality and work. Look, here the Varna system is banished, not allowed. Guna karma. This is quality and work. Where is birth? When these orders are misguided, how correctly? When these orders are misguided by unscrupulous persons who does not have any value, without any immoral people, you appear and set them right. Now, please try and understand. Many a times, Krishna would directly come and reestablish, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whenever and wherever this decline in religion and growth in irreligion, Krishna advents, Krishna comes down and annihilate the miscreant. Yeah. So what does Krishna do? Krishna annihilates the miscreant, establish the religion. So Krishna appear and set them right. But devotees of the Lord does the same thing. What Krishna does, devotees of the Lord does the same thing. Yeah. So actually, a devotee has just one objective in their life, just to serve Krishna, just to please Krishna, just to feel love with Krishna. Done. And whenever I say, okay, yeah, whenever I say devotees, please try and understand. So, sorry, whenever I say this, I miss the point. Okay, sometime it would come back. So let me continue. Dear Lord, the Vedic knowledge is the representation of your pure heart. Yeah, I was saying, whenever I say devotees want to serve Krishna, it means that they want to love Krishna as well. Serving Krishna and loving Krishna is one and the same thing. Yeah. Dear Lord, the Vedic knowledge is the representation of your pure hearts. Austerity, study of Vedas, and meditative trances lead to different realization of yourself in your manifested and non-manifested aspects. The entire phenomenal world is the manifestation of your impersonal energy. By you yourself, the original personality of the Godhead, are not manifested here, are not manifested there. You are the supreme soul, the supreme Brahman. People who are situated in the Brahminical culture therefore can understand the truth about your transcendental form. Thus, you always hold the Brahmans in respect, and you are considered to be topmost of all the followers of the Brahmanical culture. You are therefore called, known as Brahmanaya Deva. Our dear Lord, you are the last word in good fortune and last resort of all saintly persons. Therefore, we all consider that we have achieved the perfection of our life, education, austerity, acquisition of transcendental knowledge by meeting you. Factually, you are the ultimate goal of all transcendental achievement. Yeah. Anyone who wants to continue? Shweta? How do you, Lord?
Hare Krishna. Our dear Lord, there is no end to your unlimited knowledge. Your form is transcendental, eternally existing in full bliss and knowledge. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Brahman, the Super Soul, the Supreme Soul. Being covered by the spell of your internal potency, Yogmaya, you are now temporarily concealing your unlimited potencies. But still, we can understand your exalted position, and therefore all of us offer you our respectful obeisances. Dear Lord, you are enjoying your pastimes in the role of a human being, concealing your real character of transcendental appearance. Therefore, none of the kings present here, and even the members of the Yadu dynasty who constantly mingle with you, eat with you, and sit with you, can understand that you are the original cause of all causes, the soul of everyone, the original cause of all creation. When a person dreams at night, hallucinatory figures created by the dream are accepted as real, and the imaginary dream bodies accepted as one's real body. For the time being, one forgets that besides the body created in hallucination, there is another real body in his awakened state. Similarly, in the awakened state also, the bewildered conditioned soul considers sense enjoyment to be real happiness. By the process of enjoying the sense of the material body, the spirit soul is covered and his consciousness becomes materially contaminated. It is due to material consciousness that one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All great mystic yogis endeavor to revive their Krishna consciousness by mature practice of the yoga system just to understand your lotus feet. They meditate upon your transcendental form to counteract their accumulated sinful reactions. It is said that the water of the Ganges can vanquish volumes of a person's sinful reactions, but the Ganges water is glorious only due to your lotus feet. The Ganges water flows as perspiration from the lotus feet of your lordship, and are also and we are also fortunate that today we have been able to see your lotus feet directly. Dear Lord, we are all surrendered souls, devotees of your lordship. Therefore, please be kind and bestow your causeless mercy upon us. We know well that persons who have become liberated by constant engagement in your devotional service are no longer contaminated by the material modes of nature. Thus, they have become eligible to be promoted to the kingdom of God in the spiritual world. After first offering prayers to Lord Krishna, the assembled sages wanted to take permission from King Dhritarashtra and King Yudhishthira and then depart for their respective ashrams. At that time, however, Vasudev, the father of Lord Krishna and the most celebrated of all pious men, approached the sages and with great humility offered his respects by falling down at their feet. Vasudev said, "My dear great sages, you are most respected than the demigods. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I wish for you to accept my one request. If you so desire, I shall consider it a great blessing if you kindly explain the supreme fruitive activity by which one can counteract the reactions of all other activities." The great sage Narada was the leader of all the sages present. Therefore, he began to speak. "My dear sages," he said, "it is not very difficult to understand that because of his great goodness and simplicity, Vasudev, who has become the father of the personality of Godhead by accepting Krishna as his son, is inclined to ask us about his welfare. It is said that familiarity breeds contempt. As such, Vasudev, having Krishna as his son, does not regard Krishna with awe and veneration. Sometimes it is seen that persons living on the bank of Ganges do not consider the Ganges very important, and they go far away to take their baths as at a place of pilgrimage. There is no need for Vasudev to ask us for instruction when Lord Krishna is personally present, because his knowledge is never second in any circumstance. His knowledge is not affected by the process of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, nor is it very influenced by any agency beyond himself, nor is it agitated by the interactions of the material qualities or changed in the course of time. His transcendental form is full of knowledge which never becomes agitated by ignorance, pride, attachment, envy, or sense enjoyment. His knowledge is never subject to the laws of karma regarding pious or impious activities, nor is it influenced by the three modes of material energy. No one is greater than or equal to him because he is the supreme authority, the personality of Godhead.
The ordinary.
The ordinary the ordinary conditioned human being may think that the conditioned soul, who is covered by his materialistic senses, mind, and intelligence, is equal to Krishna. But Lord Krishna is just like the sun, which, although it sometimes may appear to be so, is never covered by the cloud, snow, or fog, or by other planets during an eclipse. When the eyes of less intelligent men are covered by such influences, they think the sun to be visible. Similarly, persons who are influenced by senses, addicted to material enjoyment, cannot have a clear vision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sages present then began to address Vasudev in the presence of Lord Krishna, Balram, and many other kings, and as requested by him, they gave their instructions. To counteract the reactions of fruitive activities and the desires impelling one to fruitive activities, one must, with faith and devotion, execute the prescribed sacrifices meant for worshipping Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the beneficiary of the results of all sacrificial performances. Great personalities and sages who are able to see everything clearly through the eyes of the revealed scriptures and possess vision of the three phases of time element, namely past, present, and future, have unanimously recommended that to purify the dust of material contamination accumulated in the heart and to clear the path of liberation and thereby achieve transcendental bliss, one must please Lord Vishnu. For everyone living as a householder in one of the higher social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, this worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who is known as Purushottama, the original person, is recommended as the only auspicious path. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Again, giddiness.
All conditioned souls within this material world have deep-rooted desires to Lord.
Okay, just a few things. I mean, we would far move ahead. So it's better to understand before we move ahead. Uh, Please try and understand. We all are conditioned by the three modes of material nature, and because of this one earlier we read it. Because of our guna and karma, we are situated in some mode, mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Yeah. Now we all are covered by this material attributes, right? Our soul is pure, but we all are covered. And because of this covering, we are not able to see anything clearly. Yeah. So this is cloud, is no fog. Yeah. So we can never see anything clearly. However, hmm, if anyone is surrendered, hmm, yeah, if anyone is surrendered, yeah, he could see things as they are rather than be in that illusion, yeah, and does not look. Here it is written: ignorance, pride, attachment, envy, and sense enjoyment. Yeah, rather than being in these state of mind, if we are surrendered unto Krishna, we would be liberated. We would be in a liberated state. But the challenge goes like this: you or me or anyone has some material aspect in the life and some spiritual aspect. Once the material aspect becomes zero, the person is situated in trance. They do bhakti every second of their life. That is the perfection of life. That is what we have to do. But if we are covered by these ignorance, pride, attachment, envy, sense enjoyment, we would not go any further. We would just be fixated, just stay there. Yeah. So Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita: a humble sage would look at everyone with equal vision. The treatment would be different, but the vision would be same. You could not treat a human being as you would be treating an elephant, or as you would be treating a horse, a dog, a cat. Yeah. So the treatment would be different, but he would see everything clearly and correctly. Yeah. Okay, Anshika, please continue.
Hare Krishna.
The
All
sage,
conditions,
the
all
sage,
conditions,
the sages.
the sages. The sages present then began to address Vasudeva in the presence of Lord Krishna, Balrama, and many other kings. And as requested by him, they gave their instructions to counteract the reactions of fruitive activities and the desires impelling one to fruitive activities. One must, with faith and devotion, execute the prescribed sacrifices meant for worshipping Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the beneficiary of the results of all sacrificial performance. Great personalities and sages who are able to see everything clearly through the eyes of the revealed scriptures and possesses visions of the three phases of the time element, namely past, present, and future, have unanimously recommended that to purify
Recommended.
the recommended that to
Recommended.
that to purify the dust of material contamination accumulated in the heart and to clear the path of liberation and thereby achieve transcendental bliss, one must please Lord Vishnu. For everyone living as a householder in one of the higher social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas, this worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who is the known as Purushottama, the original person, is recommended as the only auspicious path. All conditioned souls all conditioned souls within this material world have deep-rooted desires to lord it over the resources of material nature. Everyone wants to accumulate riches, everyone wants to enjoy life to the greatest extent. Everyone wants a wife, home, and children. And everyone wants to become happy in this material world and be elevated to the heavenly planets in the next life. But these desires are the causes of one's material bondage. Therefore, to get liberation from this bondage, one has to sacrifice his honestly earned riches for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The only process to counteract all sorts of material desire is to engage oneself in the devotional service of Lord Vishnu. In this way, a self controlled person, even while remaining in householder lives, should give up the three kinds of material desires, namely the desire of the acquisition of material opulences, for the enjoyment of wife and children, and for elevation to higher planets. Eventually, he should give up householder life and accept the renounced order, engaging himself completely in the devotional service of the Lord. Everyone, even if born in a higher status or as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, is certainly indebted to the demigods, to the sages, to the forefathers, and to other living entities. And in order to liquidate all these debts, one has to perform sacrifices, study the Vedic literature, and generate children in religious household and life. If someone accepts the renounced order of life without liquidating these debts, he certainly falls down from his position. Today, you have already liquidated your debts to your forefathers and the sages. Now, by performing sacrifices, you can free yourself from indebtedness to the demigods and thus take complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Vasudeva, certainly you have already performed many pious activities in your previous life. Otherwise, how could you be the father of Krishna and Balrama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please try and understand. This is very important. There are many rules and regulations which have been talked about, but above everything, yeah, above everything, what is important? What is important is bhakti. Please try and understand what is written out here. This is hidden. This is not clear. On the face of it, it may appear something else. On the backside, it is something else. So before that, we must come out of this desire of acquisition of material opulence, enjoyment from wife and children, and elevation to higher planets. In this material form of life, we should not be concentrated to these things. Yeah. Now it has been talked about that you have to live this way, that way, and without without living that kind of life, you would certainly fall down. But one very, very important thing, interesting. Here it is written, today you have already liquidated all your debts to your forefathers and the sages. Now, by performing sacrifice, you can free yourself from the indebtedness to the demigods and thus take complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Vasudev, certainly you have already performed many pious activities in your previous life. Otherwise, how could you be father of Krishna and Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Now, Vasudev is father of Krishna and Balaram. Is he subjected by any rules and regulations? A lot of rules has been discussed, but is he subjected by any rules and regulations? Anyone who even now thinks that it might be, then please try and understand the pastime wherein Nand Maharaj or was it Vasudev? Vasudev, I mean. Nand Maharaj. It was Nand Maharaj. Yes. Nand Maharaj goes to this water resource. I believe it was river. Varun Dev captures him. Yeah, we were reading about that pastime. I believe in Hindi Krishna book. Varun Dev, no, it was in Bhagavatam. Varun Dev captured him because it was wrong time to come to that water resource. Please try and understand. Everything has rules and regulation, but Krishna comes above all those rules and regulations. Krishna goes and see this one, Varun Dev, and as soon as Varun Dev, you can take your father back. I just wanted to see you, Krishna. Just you can definitely take your father back. And in fact, it teaches us one very beautiful lesson. A devotee is the one who is completely surrendered to Krishna. Yes, he may be illusioned by some things. Although we should never think devotee to be at any lower level. But he may be conditioned. There may be things, there might be some things that we are not able to understand. But a devotee would always be above these things. He is doing bhakti and he is above all these things because Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, once you are surrendered unto me, I will take care of whatever sins you have done. So if anyone is surrendered unto Krishna, Krishna would personally take care of him. Yes. Who would read? Shweta? Continue. My eyes have gone really very bad.
Hare Krishna. Saintly Vasudev, after hearing all the sages, offered his respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet. And
just one minute is remaining. You just complete this paragraph. Saintly Vasudev.
Okay. In this way, he pleased the sages and then he requested them to perform the yajnas. When the sages were selected as priests of the sacrifices, then they in turn induced Vasudev to collect the required paraphernalia for executing the yajnas in that place of pilgrimage. When Vasudev was thus persuaded to start to perform the yajnas, all the members of the Yadu dynasty took their baths, dressed themselves very nicely, decorated themselves beautifully, and garlanded themselves with lotus flowers. Vasudev's wives, dressed with nice garments and ornaments and golden necklaces, approached the arena of sacrifice carrying in their hands and required articles to offer in their sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, look, at different ages, different sacrificial uh, work were performed, and it used to purify. Now, even now, if anyone does these sacrifices in a pure manner, he would be purified. But these days, it is not possible. These days, people do not follow these things. Yeah. They are illusioned. Everyone is illusioned by Maya. All the time. All the time, Maya, Maya, Maya. Yeah. People are not pure in this age. And in this age of hypocrisy and quarrel, the only means of deliverance is to chant the holy names of the Lord. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. Thank you everyone for joining in. Anyone who wants to volunteer for Vaishnav Pranam Mantra may raise their hand or I will start. Yeah, so I'm starting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'm sorry. I started the prayer. Really sorry. Okay. Let's do Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. Everyone is unmuted?
Yes,
Just a minute.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa sindhubhya eva cha.
कृपा सिन्धुभ एव च
Patitanam pavanebhyo.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की
जय
His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada की
जय
भगवद गीता की
जय
श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
सभी भक्तों की
जय।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
हरे
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 कृष्णा
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा कृष्णा
हरे
कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे
कृष्णा
हरे
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 राम
राम राम राम
हरे
हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा हरे
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
राम
हरे
हरे
राम राम
हरे
राम हरे
कृष्ण
हरे
हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. At times it becomes very difficult. Your head starts moving quite a lot. I don't know what happens in 3 p.m. class every time, almost every time. It becomes very challenging. Sometimes I feel I should not even open my eyes. Just close my eyes and sit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, anyone has any question, they may ask. I would answer it correctly. Yeah. Anyone has any question, they may ask. No questions? Okay. Uh, Actually, I do a lot of things to not feel that giddiness. But I don't know why this 2 p.m. becomes very challenging. Let's see what can we do. I would try my best. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining in. Keep on joining, keep on chanting, keep on passing Krishna's love to everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, anyone has any question, they may ask. No question, huh? Okay. Hare Krishna.